America's workforce. Its strength is our nation's success. Join Ronnie Spellman on I Build America podcast as we explore innovative solutions and inspiring stories from leaders and workers shaping America. Discover actionable insights to build a motivated workforce.
Welcome to the I Build America podcast. We're here with Sean Kelly, who's the technical director at Light Brigade. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So the business has been around for over 38 years. What do you do?
Correct. So we're the leader in fiber optic skills training. Historically, our business has been business to business, meaning that companies send technicians, potential technicians to us. We train them. They get back out and they're ready to go into the field.
Nice.
We traditionally do that in 4 days. We do the theory and the hands-on.
Right.
Recently, in the last 2 years, we've expanded out into workforce development programs.
Okay. So let's not go there yet. Tell anyone listening, what is fiber optics?
What is fiber optics?
Right. What does an installer look like? What does a training look like? We'll get there. What is fiber optics first?
So fiber optics is really, it's communication using glass. Yeah. It can go very, very long distances. It uses pulses of light. It's very, very high bandwidth. So
it's a very sensitive product as well, I know.
It can be. It can be. That's why different cable constructions, like your undersea cable, there are hundreds of thousands of miles of undersea cable connecting all of our continents. That's why you can download a movie in a half a second because it's coming under the ocean.
So Sean, back up for a moment because I was just having a conversation with this, and I don't think people realize it. There is a pipeline to Virginia Beach, which is where you are for the conference, that goes under the Atlantic Ocean.
It absolutely does.
So you have these cables that are fiber optics traveling underneath the oceans. One of the oceans are deep, but they have these fiber optics traveling across the oceans to bring internet service and other services to us.
Correct.
Okay, that's so amazing.
So one of the statistics, and it does really matter which social media you do. If you take a picture and you post a picture to your feed,
yes,
that picture within seconds will be backed up at data centers around the world. So if something happened to one of those data centers, it's backed up. That's happening instantaneously from you hit upload to people see it in your feed. The other thing is it also helps with geographic. So if you upload that here in Virginia Beach, but a friend of yours is in San Francisco, they're not going to see the picture from the server that's in Dulles, Virginia, or Sterling, Virginia. They're going to see it out of San Francisco.
Okay, interesting.
So that's how it gets there so fast.
So the cloud isn't just like a cloud in the sky.
It's not a cloud in the sky. The cloud is a network. Yes, it's a network of storage and devices.
And it's not on satellite. That's not traveling by satellite. I think a lot of people might think that it's by satellite.
We'd like to have it a little faster than satellite. That's why we say fiber is a better medium.
Right. So you have fiber cabling all across the country.
Absolutely.
And you need people to install, maintain, repair, replace that fiber equipment.
Absolutely. Test, troubleshoot. Yes. That can be anything from your trenching or direct boring to prepare for duct work to go under the ground. Some cable is manually pulled in. Some they air blow it in. Once it, you have your main trunk lines and you have branch lines as well. Then they'll go off to using different types of technologies. Like there's things called active Ethernet or passive optical networks. And, depending if it's going to a business or going to fiber to the home or municipalities, Department of Transport. There's a lot of it. Almost any device, a camera,
Wi-Fi. Isn't it old school coaxial cable?
It's not old school coaxial cable. And interestingly enough, a lot of the cable companies are converting from that coax into fiber as well. So it's getting the communication everywhere fast. And, the preparation, it is glass, just like a pane of windows that are surrounding us here. It's not quite as fragile as that.
Okay.
So there are coatings on the glass that allow it to be bent. You can only bend it so far. It will still shatter. But with that, it takes a lot of key preparation to properly prepare the end of that fiber and either weld it. We call it fusion splicing, which are really welding two pieces of glass together.
That is interesting.
What's even more interesting is that glass, the piece of fiber that you work with, is about the diameter of a human hair.
Wow.
Let's just say that's 125 microns.
Right.
So all the communication cable you see under the sea and here in Virginia Beach, wherever we are,
right,
is the core of that is what carries the light, and that's only 8 to 9 microns.
Okay.
So imagine, I mean, it's something,
It's amazing.
15, 20% of the diameter of your hair
Right.
is carrying gigabits of data,
Right.
high volume of data in seconds. It's amazing.
And why does someone need training? And I can manage my own coaxial cable, I think. And
I think. So, well, that is an interesting point you bring up. So we were we're at a kind of a crossroads here, a generational crossroads,
right,
where you have some of your older generation, you had the baby boomers, the Gen X, even some of your early millennials,
right,
appreciating formalized training, a certification. They value that.
right.
We move further to that younger spectrum. They're tired of school.
Right. True.
I can learn anything from YouTube.
That's true.
Right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. YouTube is a great support tool. It's not an education tool.
Okay.
So something like fusion splicing, fusing two fibers.
TED Talk doesn't. Where does TikTok fit in? I'm just kidding.
Well, they're valuable.
I can't
it's sort of like even on the job training. Some people rely strictly on the job training. There are issues with just plain on the job training. Over the years, the guy that's teaching you has taken some shortcuts. He forgets why he's done it. Or he might not have been properly trained, so you're passing bad habits on.
Hold that thought for a minute. Don't lose where you are, because when I was in college, I ended up taking the long route to solving mathematical problems, because I thought if I used the shortcut that they gave me, then I wouldn't be able to transition to another problem that required that same knowledge and find the solution to it. I just thought I was cheating myself. So I had to understand how they came up with the calculation model.
Exactly.
And it sounds like you're saying the same thing. You need to understand kind of the origin and the details behind it, not just taking the shortcut, because over time you lose an understanding of the reason why the shortcut was created and maybe misapply it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that goes with the YouTube, even just plain on the job.
Right.
And even other training solutions that are more, especially when you get to manufacture. So a lot of times you'll have equipment from the manufacturer. Yes. They'll teach you how to push the buttons to make their piece of equipment operate. But they have no idea why they're doing that.
Right.
So that's where we come in. We split evenly between theory and hands-on.
Okay.
So not only do we teach you how to do it, we teach you why you're doing what you're doing. And, so when they encounter someone else in the field, someone with a different company, and says, I don't know why you're doing it this way, I do this.
Right.
They know why they don't take that shortcut.
Right.
They know why their craft is a little better than.
And you're right. And on the job training, when they're teaching you how to do it their way, if you ask them why, sometimes you might not get a good response. It's usually just do it this way because this is the way we do it.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So, that's really, and people value that. And we've had, I don't know if I want to call it, I used the term generation a different way, but generational, where we would have people that even 30, 35 years ago went through one of our trainings. And as they climbed the ranks in their company and they were hiring new technicians and hiring new people, before those people hit the field, they said, you've got to go to Light Brigade training. I want you to have the same base that I did. Now, it's not going to be the same base because we continually improve and update our stuff. Right. But again, they knew that having those is giving that great base, right? Yes. And so, we'd see that, and then that next generation's coming up. They're the supervisor. They're bringing people in. Nice. So, we do see a lot of repeat business. We have a lot of companies that it's their requirement. You come to work for us, you're going through that training. And, really, we just want to reach more people because there's good training out there.
Sure.
There's other good training, and there's perhaps not so good training.
Tell me a little more about your structure as a business.
Yeah.
Where do you operate? Where are you based?
Yeah.
Do you have trainers throughout the country? I know you spoke about your licensing program. So tell us, especially if a workforce development person is listening.
Sure.
Help them understand your business and what you provide.
So we are headquartered in Kent, Washington. It's a Seattle suburb.
Okay.
That is our headquarters. We also have a location in Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
And just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So those are our physical locations where we give training that's in one of our locations. That is not the majority of ours. The majority of what we do is we will also rent out hotel conference room.
Okay.
So we teach in all 50 states, Canada, Puerto Rico, Brazil, the islands. So we're really everywhere using our instructors. Now we have a few staff instructors that are direct Light Brigade employees.
Right.
But we also, a large number of our instructors who've been with us many, many years have retired from maybe a first retirement out of the industry and decided, I don't want to not do something.
Sure.
So we have them as what we call our contract instructors. They're equal in every way to our staff instructors, except the big difference is they can say, I don't want to work this week, and they don't have to put in vacation time. So they can select when they want to work. But we have them, and they're scattered all throughout the country. They sometimes stay in their region. They'll cross region. I mean, if they need to go to Japan to do a training, they'll go to Japan.
Okay.
We are also global in the sense that we, just like we license for workforce development, we license to other training partners around the world.
Okay.
So the Middle East,
Fantastic.
Africa, we have people there that continually give our training year round.
Well, and I presume the product that you're training people for is used around the world.
Yeah.
Especially as they catch up with technology from the US.
Correct. So another thing that kind of sets us apart is we are vendor neutral.
Okay.
So in some cases, people are saying, oh, I'm teaching on a solution. The skills and the theory that we teach you will apply to any brand, any specific piece of equipment, things like that. So again, it is more of that. It's in depth, but a broader education that really covers things. So yeah, it really is applicable around the world. We wouldn't still be here if it wasn't for the way that we do it. Yeah.
So how does your program work with the Workforce Development Board?
So workforce development, so really a couple different approaches. It all depends if sometimes it's directly the school.
Okay.
The school has got a grant or something like that. Some of it comes from a state program.
Sure.
Some of it can even come from other organizations that are funding or helping to fund or stand up workforce development. And so our process is, we'll discuss it with you, show you what the program looks like.
Right.
We do have a licensing agreement. So we'd be talking to Pam Wooten. She leads that for our licensing. And after the license agreement and NDAs and everything are signed, because, last thing we want to do is license it and then have someone go out and they start licensing it to other people, right? So we get that in place. And then there is a train the trainer program. So they would identify who their instructor would be. And a lot of the technical schools and community colleges might not have someone that's really like an expert in fiber optics.
Sure.
Occasionally we get lucky and find one.
Right.
But really, if they have some sort of technical background, we have one of the great instructors here in Virginia at a community college that was a plumbing and HVAC background. And he's now teaching the fiber course. So as long as, they have some teaching ability, instructional ability, and a technical mindset, our 3-step train the trainer program will get them ready to deliver that as if they've done it for 20 years.
Okay.
So we go through the train the trainer program. On the 3rd step of the train the trainer program, the equipment comes in. So that's part, again, grant money that the schools are getting. They apply that money towards the licensing and the equipment. And that equipment comes in, and the 3rd part of the train the trainer is where we're sending our instructor. We send our instructor each time, but they're helping them to set up the different labs, how to secure it, what happens if something goes crazy in class, how do you fix it? So we really make sure that you are set up and ready for day one. We are also always there for any questions, support. Instructor, I tell you, if it's 9:00 at night and an instructor says, I don't remember this, let me call. He can call me. He can call any one of us, and we'll help them through it. Any updates that we make to our program, so if we make, we're updating these chapters, more modern information immediately for a lifetime, it goes back out. Wow. So they get immediate updates. So what the people in workforce development are getting are the same thing that people are getting on the business to business side.
Okay, that is pretty interesting. So when you train the trainer model, I guess at some point you taking them, do you train at only one of those 3 facilities, Charlotte, Dallas?
No. So they can, basically the first one is we would like them to attend as a regular student. So that can be anywhere in the country.
That makes sense.
And that's simply to see and learn as a student. The second thing that allows them to do is these workforce development programs have credentials associated with them from the Electronics Technician Association, ETA International. And in order to be a proctor for those, they also have to earn the credential. So stage 1 is them taking the class and earning the credential.
Okay.
The second time is we really, really like them to go through it and see it again.
Okay.
And this time, instead of the content, pay attention to the pace, the timing,
Sure.
maybe some of the stories, because there's the amount that's textbook type,
Right.
but it's then the kind of anecdotal stories and support that help to someone picture what's going to happen. And then the third one really, again, is that equipment setup and maybe a select few chapters where they might teach it back.
Okay.
It's kind of just a spot check.
Sure.
Now, by the end of the year, we will be modifying that a little bit. So by the end of the year, especially in our fiber optics 1, 2, 3 program, which is the first that most go through, we will have that all online as a self-paced learning.
Right.
So instead of attending the first class and then attending a second class, the first one they do at their own pace. And so they learn all the key things. They'll always have a copy of that as well. So when they move on and then learn the timing of the live class and the third step, when they get out and they start teaching, if they get it, they're in chapter 3 and like, I forget exactly what I was supposed to say there. They can always go back and find that spot in their self-pace and re-listen to that again.
Gotcha.
Hear what I was supposed to say. What does that image mean? Those people ask me a question. How can I answer this better?
Gotcha.
So again, we're continuously trying to improve to make it a lot easier on them.
Now, is there a requirement to have them participate in any real field practice with either partner employer or someone?
The instructor or the student?
The instructor.
The
when
instructor.
you teach the trainer.
We do not have that hard requirement.
Okay.
Just because it's not always, you can't just go stop alongside the road and say, "Hey, can I play along with it?" Sometimes you can. I mean, I've personally stopped, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?"
You
I'm like,
seriously stopped.
"Oh, I've stopped." Yeah, and some of my best pictures, some of our best pictures that we have are ones where I stopped to introduce myself, what I do. They're like, "Oh, wow, okay." I was like, "Can I take some pictures?" And and I do. And some of those have been great. We used in some of our marketing things. Sometimes they're in our presentations. There are a couple times that they've been there and we can't figure this out. And I've said, "Well, let's try it this way."
Right.
And look at me like, "How did you know that? You just guys stopped alongside the road,
That's true.
Most people are like, "What are you doing to my yard?" And I was there to actually help them. So, if someone does have that experience, or, sometimes the community colleges have those relationships, because a lot of times you're going to have some of these contractors that are sitting there waiting to pull graduates or pull people to complete it out.
Right.
They may let the instructor have some field experience, but if they don't, we teach them the skills. We teach them the skills to replicate that. The only thing they're always dry. It's not raining on them, right?
Right.
So that's fine. Now our internal instructors, we do require them to all have some level of field experience or industry related.
Now, for a student, what does the program typically cost?
So I think that varies by state and by what kind of grants, who's funding. I know, like here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's a 3-stage process.
Okay.
So there's there's actually a pre get you interested where those potential students will actually be paid to go to a teaser, like a teaser into fiber optics, to decide if that's what they want to do, or a teaser into HVAC before they go into those programs. But then when they actually enter the program, I believe it's a 3-step payment process where their amount of money is given to get them registered for the class.
Right.
Halfway through, if they've got full attendance, not skipping out on class, doing whatever, the second part of that's paid. If they fully complete it, they pass their exam, they get their credential regular, the grant, again, it pays for the third part.
Wow.
At any point, and I'm not sure what the specific criteria is, but at any point in there, if they bail on that, they don't get the rest paid, and they may be on the hook for that somewhat financially.
Okay.
But we don't control that. We let that up to the schools and the programs to dictate how that is.
So if they were self-paid, it would cost how much versus being in a program, it would cost how much?
So again, I don't have the numbers for like a community college or something as they do that on non-credit workforce. I don't know what their value is to that. I know that if it's business to business coming to us as Light Brigade, depending on the class, between $2,200 and $2,300 per student. But again, we don't dictate how much they.
That's a great amount, even if they are paying out of pocket and it's $2,000.
Yeah.
2,300, that is a great opportunity for a career that is in need.
Absolutely, it is. The biggest problem, and why I mentioned working with like the high schools and even the middle schools, is the problem is these careers are here. They pay very well. Yeah. They're in high demand. They're not going anywhere. Right now, the hot areas is their data center and fiber to the home.
Correct.
But utilities, cellular, undersea, mining, oil and gas, they all use fiber optics. So the skills that you learn, if you decide, I don't want to be in telecom anymore,
right? You
might go to mining. You be a fiber technician in mines, right? So it's transferable skills, which a lot of times, and I've been involved in programs before in other lives, especially like being on curriculum advisory committees at different schools, things like that, where, I remember one where there was this big drive for Marcellus shale, the gas. And this is in Pennsylvania. And I was resistive, and people are like, why are you being so resistive on this? And I said, because we in Pennsylvania, we've seen steel.
Right.
We've seen coal.
Right.
They were hot, and now they're dead.
Right.
What's going to happen when this saturated, they're done, Marcellus shale, and they're gone? You've now trained thousands of people on this specific specialty with nowhere else to go.
Right.
With fiber, they've got everywhere else to go. Not even just on this continent. They can go anywhere around the world.
Oh, and I think that's certainly a great point. In some industries, they might be geographic specific.
Yep.
For the most part. There might be some areas where they can go to, but fiber optic is not only across the entire United States, it's across the entire globe.
It's on every continent.
And so if someone decides that they want to pick up and have a different life in some other country,
absolutely,
they can make that transition.
They
They just need to learn whatever the local language is.
And make sure they have legal paperwork to go there, right? Yeah, but that's again, so it's transferable by skill and obviously geography.
So again, remind me, about 2,000, 2,300-ish roughly, it might change across the country. And how long again can a person get in and complete?
Yeah, so if they are coming directly to us, it'll be a 4-day. So it's
4 days.
It's 2 days of theory.
And then they'll become qualified to work in those positions. That is absolutely incredible.
Yep. The one thing that holds back, again, is business to business, they normally are sending their people because they already have a job.
Right.
The other side of that, and this is where we don't get into it, we're working right now with some schools to try to set this up, because we have a lot of contractors that have around the country that have continuously sent workers to us. One of the struggles I think that the workforce development programs have, and this is with any workforce development, is they're trained, but an employer says, well, typically I want a year or two experience.
Sure.
Well, how can you put someone through a valuable workforce development program, get them trained, but they can't get a job because they don't have 2 years of experience?
Very true.
So what we're starting to have the conversations is to seeing which of these contractors we have would allow us, like on our workforce development site, to list them. And so if it is in Virginia or Mississippi or Ohio, when these schools are outputting people from the workforce development that may not already have a job lined up, would these companies take them on for like a 4-week or a 6-week paid shadowing apprenticeship?
Sure.
It's not 2 years, but it is field exposure, field experience.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is those employers in that 4 to 6 weeks might look and say, well, that person doesn't have 2 years of experience, but they've got work ethic.
Right.
They know their stuff.
Right.
Okay. Now we hire them on. So we're just constantly looking at ways, and your question list that you posed out there. What are some of the challenges? That is one of the big challenges. Right. We can all train these people and get them out there. Both the employers who have this dire need to hire them, we're not going to accept anything under 2 years experience. It's going to be a constant fight.
And you're right. And I've had this debate for several decades. If everyone is requiring 2 years, how's that going to happen?
Yeah.
If no one will hire anyone in that 0 to 2 year period.
And the thing is, especially with fiber optics, especially in the telecom space, where the numbers are saying anywhere from 230 to 850,000 technicians over the next 5 years.
Wow.
So it's incredible. I mean, and part of that is that you have a lot of your average age of technicians about 45 years old in the industry right now. Okay. if they're a union, they're getting close to their first retirement.
Yes.
For every 5 that leave the industry, there's only 1 coming in. So we've already got that shortage, and that's without the boom in data center, without the boom in telecom.
Interesting.
So it's a double whammy problem.
Right.
I've got a great friend of mine. He's a contractor in Maryland, and he used to be the strictest guy. When he only hired the best of the best technicians.
Right.
Okay, you better have known your stuff, or you're not getting a job with them because they have a reputation. They still have a great reputation and a great business, but they had such trouble finding them that Mike says, look, if you got a pulse and you'll guarantee that you'll come to work 4 out of the 5 days a week you're scheduled, I can train you the technical skills.
Love it. Yeah.
It's a sacrifice we've had to make.
Right.
Because you're either going to get the guy that's smart but only comes to work 2 days a week, and that doesn't do anything.
Right.
Or you get the one that's at least willing to put in the effort, and you can make them good.
Well, the good thing is that they still retain their quality of work. And he's getting the people that he needs. What would be a normal salary for a starting person and then one for an experienced person?
Okay. You probably asked the toughest question on the planet right there. Okay. And part of the reason is that is just like any other career in the United States, there's huge wage disparities. So where you have something, say a splicing technician, maybe in New York City or even just slightly upstate New York.
Sure.
Say they're making $90 an hour. Go to Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas. That same person might be making $17 to $20 an hour.
Sure.
So there's a disparity there. So that's why you might have some areas of the country might have a little bit overabundance of technicians.
Right.
But the guys making $90 an hour aren't going to pack up and move somewhere to make 20, right?
$90 an hour?
Yeah.
And that's realistic?
It's realistic. Some of them are doing it. Some of them are even getting paid by the splice, which if they are really good and start making rate, they're going to go higher than that. There are guys that are doing that. It's not everybody. Now, it's not all glamour.
Sure.
Okay. And I remember my first degree was a focus on fiber optics. And at the time, I believe there's a company called IXE Communications who were laying many of the main feeder routes across the United States. And they're like, money, money, money. And we're all talking, oh, money, money, money. And the guy said, well, that's in any weather. And oh, by the way, when there's that blizzard and things go down, there's the hurricane and the flood.
Yes.
You're out there.
Right.
And my brain said, that's not for me.
Right.
I need a different path in fiber optics. And so I did. But so that's the thing is it's not all about the money. You've got to, some of those people, especially in the outdoor space, are doing that. They need to be doing that.
But realistically, you can make a good living.
Oh, you make a very good living.
Yes. Good. That's
absolutely. Yeah. It's not going to be, fiber optics is not going to give you a poverty level. That is, people are making decent money on that.
And part of the reason I wanted you to come specifically on the program is, when I look through the different books for the community colleges or career opportunities in the high schools, when they list it, I don't usually see fiber optics up there.
You probably see telecommunications.
Maybe so.
Yes. And a lot of the CTE programs have telecommunications.
Yeah.
And the issue with, some of those, and I've actually spent some time here in Virginia helping to redo their curriculum for CTE for telecommunication. Some of them, we're not going back to the cup phone, cup and string, but some of the technology being taught in those CTE programs are what followed the cup and string.
Right.
Very antiquated. So we're trying to pull some of that stuff out. The challenge is that there are buildings and things that still have some of that older technology that might need to be serviced.
Right.
And I've tried to stress, is it worth training people, spending the valuable time training people on the 1% solution?
Right. Agreed.
Or would you rather spend that time and get them on what's here, what we know is coming, preparing them for that? So, yes, a lot of it is telecommunication. And, really, again, with the specific driver of the need for fiber optic technicians, it's really what's driving these colleges to now start adding them. Can't tell you here on the floor today. Can't tell you how many people. You've got to be kidding. We've got people coming to us. Do you have people coming out with fiber optics experience? You guys have fiber optic training for workforce development.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Right.
It's just getting that word out, getting people to know that. And that's really why part of the reason we're here, to make it aware.
They don't need community college background to get into your program. 4 days and you can have them ready
So again, yes, if they are coming directly to Light Brigade outside of workforce development, yes, in 4 days, yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
Now, obviously, they go into where it's maybe paid for if they're doing in the workforce development. That's a bit longer.
But if you're having these classes around the country, that is not a bad deal, because I hear, and I know we're at the end of our program. My producers are going to look at me in a moment, but But the idea is, someone is looking to try to find a career and they need to do something quick. They don't have 2 years or 4 years. They have a family. They have obligations. They need to figure out something relatively quick, and they can find one of your classes, get your 4-day training program, spend $2,000 to $2,300, which isn't a bad investment, and then get to making a good income, anywhere from, you said, $20 an hour to $90 an hour, $90 an hour. That is an incredible deal.
Yes.
If you had to leave any notes, ideas, thoughts for a workforce board, what would you tell them on why they should partner with you?
Well, again, we are the leader in fiber optic skills training. We wrote the book on it.
Nice.
So we feel that us conveying that tried and true proven curriculum to your workforce development is really going to help you to prepare, no matter what state, county, municipality you're trying to help skill, upskill, reskill.
Wonderful.
Get those people out there. There are more than enough jobs in there. The future is great outlook. And again, very, very transferable skills. It's not like they're going to become outdated.
I love it. Sean, I'm so glad you made it. You are
invited me, yes.
Representing something that is the future from a technology, skill development, workforce development. And I appreciate you coming on the program and sharing your insight.
Appreciate the time.
Good.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us on the I Build America podcast, where we're trying to make a difference across the country and bring innovative solutions like what we just discussed, and ideas and technology and concepts to creating an opportunity for people to build lives and build careers and build progress within their communities. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the I Build America podcast. Please subscribe, share, and comment, and be sure to join us next time for more insights and inspiring conversations on building a powerful American workforce. I Build America, building workforce success one podcast at a time.
I build America.